Heintz Boy Garage is the show to watch. If you don't like me, you can suck.
What's up? We're back. I'm here, building stuff. I'll show you what I got. So I got this in place yesterday, that little tube I bent, cut it, welded it to these old cross member pieces that bolt into here because I didn't want to have to make anything. So that's that. And now I'm trying to figure out how I want to mount the rack. It uses these little two bolt clamp kind of dealios. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to have something on the bottom side, but it has to be narrow enough to fit between this casting right here. But I also have to be able to weld a tube to it. So that's gonna be a little bit of a challenge, but we'll see what we can whip up. So this is the idea I've come up with so far. So this, oh my gosh. So this piece fits in between the casting on the rack. I've already tested it. And then this is 1.5 inches wide, and the tube that I have will do this so that when I put the tube on there, I can weld on the inside, I can weld all the way around the outside, and it should be strong and awesome. Finally, we have a piece of metal in here holding this thing up. So what did that take? We got one demonstration piece. We've got another test piece, failed. Another test piece, failed. Another test piece, failed. And then I finally got that one that's on there now. So now that I measured the rack and I made sure that it's at the same height on both sides, it's level, it's the same distance on both sides this way, so it's not in there crooked. And yeah, it's kind of a little bit more complicated because all of this is here, and on this side it's only this. It's just a tube, and then it's got all its crap. But we're getting it figured out here. So I'm gonna try to make this one over here and to make the bend identical to that one, or the angle rather. We're gonna make a bracket, boy. I got these guys all tacked in here. I measured twice this time because I've been pretty bad about not doing that lately, and then I have to redo everything. So, everything is all lined up, symmetrical, level, and all that stuff, and it looks badass. And I think I want to put something like this in here as a brace between the two to connect both of them to the middle. But this is going to be a difficult piece. But I have plenty of these things laying around from misbent tubes, so maybe I'll try it out. Hello, and welcome back to the Heintz Boy Garage. I have done some stuff off camera because I had some friends over and we were just hanging out and we were having a good time and I just didn't film. So I will catch you back up with what we have done, which is roll cage stuff. So as you can see, the rocker boxes are done, the main hoop is done, the crossbar is done, the harness bar is done, and this roof bar is done. Roof bar, side hoop, whatever you want to call it. So I got it really close up here on that corner. It's touching. And that corner it's touching, I made it kick back out a little bit so I have room to weld in here so I can fit the gun in. And then up here, I angled it in a little bit so that when it goes through the cab into the bed, it'll be lined up perfectly to meet this tube on the other side. So while I was waiting on tubing because I ran myself out, I am now starting to work on these control arms because this piece right here, I had my brother turn these down to 1/2 inch and we tried to thread them right there and we got that far and my die broke. He tried it with a snap-on die and he's like, it feels like it's gonna break. So I bought one on my own and it did break. So I took it to a local machine shop and said, can you thread this for me with your lathe? And he said, yes, but let me see how hard it is because it broke your die. So he said it's too hard. It is 58 Rockwell and he said he would comfortably go up to 40 Rockwell. After that, he may break bits and they're $15 a piece and it would be out of my pocket and it could break, you know, a bajillion, so you never know. I built this rebar piece here. I welded 2 washers on it to act like the knuckle is there. And then these right here, these little tabs hold the Heintz joint. So instead of sliding over a stud, I will have this and a bolt, and then if you can see there, so this would be the outside towards the wheel. This is the inside. I left a good amount of material here so I can weld a tube between both of them and also to the frame so that it's very strong, and if I hit somebody, I will just bend an aluminum little hex tube and not the tabs on my frame. So tomorrow morning I go get tubing, and then I have to decide, do I want to continue with the control arms or do I want to continue with the cage? I'm about a third through the way of both, so it's like, but I think I might do the control arms just because they are a lot closer to being completely done, and then I can put it on the ground. Yeah, baby.
Killing frenzy.
So, I'm gonna go. You ain't a hoe. I hope. If you is, that's okay. I'm gonna see you on another day. Peace. Yellow. Cage building is the name, and Heintz is the name as well. That's what Heintz is doing. He's building cages. Anyway, you can see, maybe you can't see. I have main hoop done. Side hoops done. Working on door bars, and it took me forever to figure out the design I wanted, how I wanted it to fit, so I don't hit my elbow when I'm flinging tits. So I have one done. It fits the driver's side perfect. So now I need to replicate it to the passenger side, or, you know, whatever. It doesn't matter which side they go on, but I need to make another one just like that. So let's do it. Alright, here we are. These bars are done. This one fit in perfectly almost when I did those notches that I filmed. it was 1 degree off. So the truck is 4 degrees tilted backwards because the front is jacked up. And I don't see a point in putting it back down because I need to do stuff up there. So if I can just calculate the angle that it's at, then I can build everything around that. So truck is at 4 degrees. This bar is at 4 degrees. This bar was at 3 degrees. I took a little out of the front because the notch wasn't perfect. So the notch is now really good, and it's at 4 degrees backwards. It clears right under the, it goes right here, so I can keep this on. I'll just have to open my door in order to turn the window crank. And then I'll have a stock handle here, and I'll have like an ABS or aluminum door panel, just a completely flat one. So now I am going to tack the top bars into place because the bottom ones cannot be tacked in. They go between the rocker boxes here. So I can't weld them to the rocker boxes because once I have every tube in here, I need to grind off the tack welds, and I need to take the rocker boxes out and then drop the cage, weld around all the top side and stuff that I can't get to right now. And then I can lift the cage back up, put the boxes back under, and then I can put these tubes in right here, these bottom ones, and then I can put the vertical supports. And I might borrow my friend's tubing notcher to do that because that is a lot of 90-degree notches that I don't want to do by hand.
Why, hello! This is the end of the video. It's a bit of an abrupt stop, but you know what? I forgot to film a kind of outro dealio that day, and I'm editing, and this video is already about as long as I want it to be, so we're just gonna end it here. So stay tuned for the next video where we do some more fabricating. I redo some parts because I wasn't happy with them, and also we do some painting, as you can see. So we'll see you in the next one. Peace!